Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Road to the GOAT episode. We have one more victory to achieve in Tier 2, and of course, as you know from the last video, our go-to Tier 2 team is the Utah Jazz. Even though they don't have Donovan Mitchell, I still like playing with this team, and whenever he comes back, it's just going to make it a lot easier to play with the Utah Jazz. So my opponent has the New York Knicks, and I don't think we've seen the Knicks in a video before, but I've played against them once when I had the Miami Heat, and when I first played against them this year, they were pretty good, surprisingly. I think the roster, this was a long time ago, so I don't know if the roster or how much of the roster changed, but it looks to be the same guys for the most part, but we know Derrick Rose wasn't there before then, but the guy who I was going up against when he had the Knicks and I had the Heat, he was pretty good, and I believe we end up winning that game, but I wasn't able to post it because I lost the footage on my USB drive and never was able to recover it. But nonetheless, we are going up against the Knicks, and this is my second time going up against them. And they are a little different from the last time we played them. They have Derrick Rose, a major addition to this team now. Julius Randle is there, and Julius Randle hits a mid-range shot, and that's going to be a guy we have to focus on in today's matchup. So I've talked about the Utah Jazz a lot in the last video, and I might as well talk about the New York Knicks because we already know what the Jazz could do. The Utah Jazz, look at this play here. Just beautiful execution, beautiful ball movement by the computer AI, and on my part as well. We get the open shot and we knock down that wide open three. But the New York Knicks, yeah, this is a team I haven't played with before, and I really can't see myself playing with them. Maybe one day, but if I had a chance to play with them, it would have been in the lower leagues because it'll be easy to play with them. But they are in the playoffs though, so they have to be pretty good in 2K and in real life, right? So maybe one day I'll play with this team. Who knows? I mean, I haven't played with all the NBA teams, and after I complete the Road to the GOAT or get the trophy in the greatest of all time, I'll most likely play with them and see how it goes. But for right now, we got the Utah Jazz we're going with. But the Knicks, I don't know if they could shoot too well, and that's one issue that kind of concerns me, because a lot of guys, they like to play that zone. If you have players who don't have a fast release or can't shoot the ball that quick, it makes it a lot harder to get outside shots against that zone because guys could easily close out and contest jump shots. So end of the first quarter, score is 15-11. My opponent was pretty good. I didn't really see him make a lot of changes in the menus, or I can't really remember. I don't really think he did anything too crazy, but with the Knicks, he did his job. You can see he went to a zone, but that's why we have the Utah Jazz. Ersan Ilyasova. This is a player I like, able to stretch the floor and hit wide open threes whenever we need him to. But back to my opponent, his defense was pretty decent, but I think the thing that saved him in this game was his offense. His offense was pretty good, and I don't know if that was just due to the Utah Jazz defense not being good this game or what, or his offense with the Knicks is just that good. But in this game, his offense looked pretty good. I really couldn't do a lot against him to stop it, especially when he had Julius Randle. Julius Randle was going to work, and he had a couple other guys, Derrick Rose, and I think RJ Barrett. They were putting in work. Nolan's Noel gets the offensive board, puts it back up and in. And you can see we're in the second quarter. We're scoring at a decent clip, but we aren't really pulling away. The score is 21-17, so my opponent is still there. And I believe at the time of this recording, the New York Knicks were a Tier 3 team, and the Utah Jazz are a Tier 2. So my opponent, he's pretty good. And this is another guy I have to watch out for, 25, Reggie Bullock. I remember in 1 year of NBA 2K, maybe 2K13, 12, 13, 14, one of those 2Ks when he was with the Clippers, this guy was like a cheat code because he could shoot the ball pretty well. And that was back on the Xbox 360 and PS3 days. And he shot the three ball pretty well, and he had a very easy release. So just have to keep an eye out for him whenever he's at the three-point line. Julius Randle, nasty poster over two guys, and that was crazy. I had a bad matchup there. We were way too slow for Julius Randle, and he gets the posterizing dunk, and my opponent has now cut the lead down to a 2-point game. So now we're back on offense, trying to see what we could get. Bogdanovich is going to give it to Rudy Gobert. I'm trying to back my way down, still looking for the best option. Rudy Gobert right underneath the rim. Finally, he does something on offense, and we get 2 points. But it's still a 2-point lead for us. So opponent looks like he went to a man defense. He brought out that 2-3 zone for a little while, but it looks like he went back to a man and then is going to try and play help defense. But on that possession, Rudy Gobert, good work there to get the 2 points. We found that mismatch and we were able to get it with Rudy Gobert. So end of the first half, score is 28-23. We're shooting 62%. That is pretty impressive. My opponent is shooting 50%. And we just have to continue our scoring clip, taking good shots and working the ball around. And then on the defensive side, making sure we're playing good defense and getting guys in the right position to contend shots easily. So we're on offense. Score is 30-23. Add another 2 points for us, making a 9-point game with about 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. So in the early stages of the third quarter, our defense picked up and our offense also picked right up where it left off in the first half. Good shot there, Reggie Bullock, man. I told you guys early in the video, that's the guy I have to watch out for whenever he's at the 3-point line, and he made us pay there. So trying to pull away, but we're making mistakes on defense. And on the offensive side, we kept finding mismatches. I don't know why he has Elfrid Payton guarding Rudy Gobert. Maybe it's because we ran a play and Elfrid Payton switched with his guy. And to recognize those mismatches are very easy to get the bucket. You just have to go pretty quick, and you're basically awarded 2 points. When I see a mismatch like that, I like to call it isolation for the player that has the mismatch, just to get everybody out of the way for the player. Or I'll call it isolation, or I'll call a post up just to clear things out, and then I'll have the player just go to work on whichever side of the court is the clearest. And most of the time, we get 2 points. So in the last video, we didn't shoot the 3-ball pretty well, but in this one, we're doing a decent job. We're shooting 67%. I think we were like 4 for 7 or 4 for 6 from the 3-point line, and that's a much needed improvement from the last video. We didn't really shoot the 3-ball that good in the last video, and it kind of hurt us when we were trying to pull away, but we still end up getting a victory over our opponent. At this point in the game, I'm not worried. We're going back and forth, keeping him at a distance, and we're just trying to continue to play good defense and do the best we can on offense as well. But we just have to do a better job of playing defense. On that possession, I don't know how he got that reverse layup to go. Usually that'll be a miss and we're down the other way with 2 points, but he hit that tough reverse layup, and so he cuts the lead down. Ersan Ilyasova on the boards, going to extend our lead again. So less than 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. We have a 9-point lead. Still pretty consistent, but he hits another tough layup there. And I just don't know how he keeps hitting these tough layups. But with about 4 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Jordan Clarkson, one-handed dunk. Telling you, this third quarter was back and forth, but we have kept them at a distance, and we have a nice sizable lead heading into the fourth quarter. So we just have to continue playing our game and getting easy buckets at the rim or getting wide open looks from the 3-point line. On this possession here, Jordan Clarkson gets to the rim so easy, and in this game, I noticed that the New York Knicks, their guards, or just about everybody on the Knicks, they don't have the best interior defense, nor do the Jazz, because you could clearly see in this video we're getting taken to work in the paint. But the Knicks, their interior defense is not that good. Ersan Ilyasova, corner 3-ball. This is why I like playing with the Jazz. I could have him come off the bench and he is going to help hit those threes and help extend our lead. 10-point lead for us. 47-37, just trying to get back to the rim. You can see we missed that layup, but we get the offensive rebound with Rudy Gobert, and right under the rim we get the bucket. So 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. If my opponent needs to make a run, tough layup there by Derrick Rose. And I said the Utah Jazz, they don't have the best interior defense either. So if my opponent wants to make a run, it needs to be right now. 2 minutes is not a lot of time considering I could just waste the clock. But since he's in that zone, we're going to keep on shooting. Ersan Ilyasova again. Before it was the corner 3 ball, now it's the corner mid-range jump shot. So Ersan Ilyasova, whenever we play with the Jazz again, I know that's my secret weapon. Reggie Bullock, Euro step layup, and the Jazz are just way too slow on defense, but that's something I'm fine with because I could always find a way to improve their defense. But in this game, they were just way too slow for the Knicks. But it didn't really hurt us because we still have a 10-point lead with about a minute remaining. And again, RJ Barrett getting to the rim, getting the easy layup to go. So I don't think it's enough time for my opponent to come back. Michael Conley on his way to the rim. Easy layup over Derrick Rose, and that's going to extend our lead back to 10 points once more. And so my opponent has had enough and he has called it a quits. So we picked up another victory. It wasn't too hard to play this game. The Jazz, they played really well against the Knicks and didn't really make life that hard. So we improved to 55-4 and have only 4 games left. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.